Good morning. I would say it's 5 something in the morning. I've been up a couple of hours spending quiet time with my father. And one of the things that the father brought up in our time together this morning is that handwriting is on the wall. Handwriting is in the sand. So I did the research on Bible scriptures where the handwriting on the wall. And surrounding that statement, a king, I think it's in Daniel 5 and 6 in the Bible. The king and all the people, everybody was just celebrating and having a ball, getting drunk, just living it up, high on the hog. And all of a sudden, a hand appeared next to a lampstand, meaning God illuminated the situation, meaning it was lit up. So the hand just appeared, started writing on the wall. So what the Father is telling me regarding the lampstand, meaning it was right there in the light, everybody could see it, and they saw the hand writing on the wall. But what the hand wrote on the wall, couldn't nobody interpret it. Nobody knew what was said. So what that's telling me is that, well, let me finish the story first. So the kings and all his people, they just dancing, partying, getting drunk. They just enjoying life, high on the hog. And when the hand appeared, started writing on the wall, very lit up, everybody could see it, but nobody could interpret what was written on the wall. So they called for Daniel. Daniel was the only one that could interpret what the hand wrote on the wall. So now what God is telling me through that is, already we know that we have been getting plenty of messages telling us that there's nothing hid anymore. What's done in the dark, it's time for things to be lit up. There are no secrets or nothing that is hid that won't be revealed, nothing covered that won't be uncovered. Everything, the light has been shined upon it to expose the negative, evil, wicked, whatever is not on the agenda of God, of the highest agenda of good and love, of just for the betterment of humankind, of the universe, of the nation, of nature, everything. If it's not for the good, everything is being exposed, to the smallest to the greatest. The handwriting is on the wall. But because nobody understood what was written on the wall, they had to call for Daniel. Daniel is a man of God who hears God, who speaks for God. So, by nobody understanding what is meant, meaning everything is being laid out for people to see plain as day. But there are people that are not getting the message. You have ministers of God, of the Spirit, highest Spirit, revealing messages to the people. Whether it's your personal life, the handwriting is on the wall. You know the message. In your heart, you can see what the message is saying if you coming from a place in your heart that God can come to you and explain to you and show you. But a lot of us are not listening to our hearts, are not following the warnings that are right there in our face. The Bible says warning comes before destruction. And to me, that's what the handwriting on the wall is a symbol of. Many warnings are going out. But there are people that are not, whether it's a person, whether it's a nation, if it's America, if it's the world, there are warnings, handwritings on the wall that's bringing a judgment. The handwriting on the wall is like a judgment has been set out. People, the America, the world, they're not heeding the warnings. So the handwriting has been written on the wall. But there are those that are in place that has been giving out the warnings after warning after warning. Now the handwriting has been written on the wall. It's time for judgment. It's time for the penalty, the destruction, the doom. Because there are those that have not heeded the warnings. And again, that goes for an individual, a city, a country, the America, the world. Warning after warning after warning. But they don't see it. They can't comprehend because they're not coming from a place in their heart to see what the warnings are saying. But you better believe God has people in place that are giving the interpretation of all of the warnings. Another place in the Bible is John chapter 6, I believe. A woman was caught in adultery, in the very act of adultery. And all of the men of the city wanted to stone this woman. So they called Jesus to ask him. I guess they testing him to see what, you call yourself a man of God. How would you judge this woman? So all the men had rocks in their hand, ready to stone this woman caught in adultery, the very act. So I picture it, Jesus in the middle with the woman and all of the men standing around with their rocks in their hand, ready to go, because they knew that was the judgment. So Jesus bent down, handwriting in the sand. So you got handwriting on the wall as judgment, and now handwriting in the sand. So Jesus bent down and started writing. They wondering, I guess, what he writing? What is he doing? So Jesus stood up and said, cast the first stone. If you don't have one sin in you, cast the first stone. To me, was that God saying to me is, there's no place for judgment during these times. No place for judgment. Because everybody need to look at themselves one. Look at yourself. Because handwriting has been written in the sand, on the wall, in the sand. Handwritings all around. Warnings are all around. There's no place to judge this person, that country, this country, because this is a world. This is all humanity. Warning after warning after warning. We are in a new age. The handwriting has been written on the wall. The handwriting has been written in the sand. There's no place for judgment. No room for nobody to oh, they this, oh, they that. Look at yourself. Judge yourself, lest ye be judged. To destruction, to doom, to death. So Jesus called that woman that was caught in adultery. He bent down in the sand again. All the men had done threw down their rocks and hauled tail, because they knew they didn't have no room to judge this woman, because they doing just as much. There is no sin. All of it is sin. People want to judge another person's sin, what they doing. Oh, I don't do this. But what do you do? It's all the same difference if it's not coming of a good conscience, good intentions. So Jesus called that woman and said, where your accusers at? Where are your accusers? They done threw down them rocks and hauled tail, because not one of them could open their mouth and accuse no darn body, because, baby, all have fallen short. We all have our own mirror to look in. Judge ourselves before judgment. But so he bent down in the sand again regarding the woman. And he stood up. He said, go and sin no more. So what that is telling me, God is also writing on the wall, in the sand, that there is justice, that there is prosperity, love, peace, joy, just as well as the hand has been written on the wall and in the sand for judgment against those that have done evil and wicked and just no conscience of love and good of God in their heart. Judgment has been set in place, and it's happening as we very well see. But can people interpret it? Are they heeding the warnings? Just as well as that side have judgment against the consequences of their actions, from an individual to the world, just as well there is justice handwritten on the wall and in the sand for the good, the ones that have been enduring and doing the work and have nothing but love and peace, just want good intentions of God in the world. So we can look forward to the beautiful expectations of our heart, of the blessings of God, and they could also expect the devastation, the doom, the destruction, death, also to the consequences of their heart, the actions of their deeds. So let us stay hopeful, and those that aren't doing life with good intentions, handwriting is on the wall, handwriting is in the sand. Warning come before destruction, warning after warning after warning. We're in a new age. We're in a new dispensation. It's been poured out. Judgment is here. Judge yourself, lest you be judged. Have a blessed day.